Hello. Happy middle of the week. It's Wednesday. We are in the week of the retreat for the priestesses of the Mount Shasta Goddess Temple, who are the first years are making their commitments this year for another year of growth and study, and the second years are taking their vows, and those who are in the third year and beyond are gathering to support them, and it's really exciting. I have, where did I put this? Okay, here we go. I have created a little altar over here, which I'll show you for the retreat. I just put a little special table with a few things and things that we're going to use. And here, I'll show you on Facebook too. So we are preparing, and tonight our third years, the Council of Wise Women who have just completed their third year, which is their practicum year, are gathering. And then tomorrow we gather with everybody so that they can get to know each other a bit, and because some of the women in the program have never met because they're all over the world. And then on Friday and Saturday, we're doing our elevation ceremonies, and I'm just so excited about it. So, you know, what this means is that this week is a really full week for me. So if I don't get back to you on a message or on a, text or an email, please just hang in there and I'll get back to you next week because it's just a kind of a busy time. I have one other thing I'm so excited about. I don't know if she'll see this, but Brandy Ossett of Red Priestess sent around little vials of her beautiful Guanyin mist. It smells so good. Her redpriestess.com is there for goddess spirituality, witch culture, altar and ritual items, magical goodies, workshops, and retreats. And it's a lovely Guanyin mist. And thank you so much, Brandy Ossett. She sent them to all of the women who have committed to doing 100,000 recitations of Guanyin's mantras for the Guanyin's Millionaires Project. And I thought that was just such an act of kindness and generosity. I've been following Brandy's work online for many, many years. She is so great. And before everybody was out there like Instagramming and everything, she was out there, man. She was cutting edge, and she still is. Thank you, Brandy Ossett, for this lovely mist. I'm so grateful. We have other gifts and statues that have come into the temple in the last couple of weeks, and I am going to try soon, I hope, maybe early solstice weekend. I'm going to try to do a little live tour so you can see some of the new statues, because there's quite a few large ones. Like we got one that stands like very heavy and it's tall, that came from Paris. And not Paris the country, Paris the person, not Paris the city, rather, Paris the person. And we received a lot of, other statues. We got a beautiful triptych. So I will be in the temple space for one of my practices coming up here toward the end of the month, and hopefully give you a tour. And let's see what else. We're holding in our prayers today. There's, despite the good things, and you know how I am, I just try to hold on to those good things because they're like a lifeline. But there are some very difficult things to say as well. Today, I'm sorry to report that Aura's Uncle Sam passed on yesterday or last night, and she is absolutely crushed. Her family is crushed by this loss. They're just so, so sad. So we're going to send them a lot of love. We're sending love today to Ravenna, who is going through a very difficult time in midst a very difficult year, and to Coley, who's going through a very difficult time amidst a very difficult year. So holding these sacred beings in our hearts as we do our practice. And as we are stepping into our practice today for the Dear Mother, I just invite us to all remember that the Deer Mother is really about the strength and well-being of the entire herd. And so, for many of us, when we hear of others suffering, we feel that too. We feel it for them. And we are part of their herd. So, of course, we feel it. So, let's also share in this purification and send that to all who need it. When the Deer Mother ascends the mountain, victorious in her splendor, she brings with her the elixir of the forest. With precious incense, fragrant and sweetly scented, the mountain is purified, the forest is purified, the waters are purified, the animals are purified, the deities are purified, the spirits are purified. Our ancestors are purified. Our families are purified. Our homes are purified. Our children are purified. Our friends are purified. Communities are purified. My life force is purified. Your life force is purified. Obstacles removed. Wounds are healed. Good words are spoken. All around us is purified, is purified, is purified. The vivid, colorful field guide deck. This doesn't have a super glossy finish. Today, we're with the owl. Use new math on equations that don't add up. Digest your current situation and make solid changes where necessary. Slow down speedy movements and take in the scenery. Invite your inner goofball outside more often. And the key words for owl: perspective, unlocking, revealing, humoring, precision, shifting, and digesting. So what is it that needs to be solved or unlocked today for you? Is there something that you've been working on in your mind, or that you've been feeling has you're sure there's some kind of a solution, but you just can't quite put your finger on it? Maybe today is the day to find a way to look at that from a different perspective. How could you look at it through new eyes, the eyes of the owl? How might you come up with creative solutions for things that seem dug down and problematic. If there's anything in your life that you've been feeling confused about, how might you bring a different perspective to that situation or shift and transform that situation? Today is a day for us to have some introspection and a little bit of the owl's quietude, and also to do some figuring out and problem solving. I think it's a good time for us today to put our mental exercise and mental capacity to use, put our mental capacity to use, and to exercise the power of our decision making. You are not merely a victim of your circumstances. I am not merely a victim of my circumstances. And while it's true that any number of us might be victims of circumstance in one way, we are all, each and every one of us, powerful beings who have tremendous capacity to creatively resolve problems, even when we feel a certain layer of worry or fear or anxiety. So let's not lose sight of our capacity today. Let's not lose sight of our strength. The owl flies in and silently snatches up its dinner and flies away. There's a quiet way in which you can flip the script in your favor today. How will you do it? It's just a matter of getting from here to there. So that is our short bit for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're here for Guanyin practice, please stay on. If not, we'll see you tomorrow. All right, 3 prostrations before the shrine. And let's take refuge. Namo Guru Be. I take refuge in the inner teacher. Namo Buddhaye. I take refuge in the great mother of compassion. Namo Dharmaye. I take refuge in the wisdom of the ages. Namo Sanghaye. I take refuge in the community of practitioners. And let's set our intention, a person, place, situation, or circumstance that will benefit from today's practice. And holding the spirit of Uncle Sam, holding Aura and her family, holding Ravena, and holding Koli today. And of course, anyone else who's suffering that you know of. And let's recite the 4 immeasurables. May I be a source of loving kindness in this world and all worlds, bringing a generous heart to all my thoughts and doings. May I be a vehicle of compassion in this world and all worlds, ever mindful and aware of the tremendous suffering of others. May I be a brimming vessel of joy in this world and all worlds, delighting in the happiness of others as their suffering is alleviated. May I be a balance point of equanimity in this world and all worlds, seeing all as equals and all as deserving of goodness. Let's make our offerings. I light this candle as a symbol of the enlightening Dharma way. May it shine brightly for the benefit of all beings. I light this incense as an offering to Guanxi Yin, she who hears the cries of the world, mother of all. Omahum. 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 Reverently, I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind and present clouds of every type of offering, actual and virtual. I confess all my destructive actions accumulated since beginningless time and rejoice in the meditation of all holy and ordinary beings. Please, Guanyin, remain until the end of samsaric existence and turn the wheel of Dharma for sentient beings. I dedicate my own merits and those of others to the great enlightenment. 108 recitations now of Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, awakening the compassion within our hearts. Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa. 萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨， Namo Quan Shi Yin Pusa. 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 Sometimes, in order to solve a problem, you have to actually do something you've never done before. And then that can be scary because you're sitting there already with a problem. And so the mind reaches for that sense of security to do what's familiar. But if what's familiar hasn't actually worked, then you're going to have to do something else. And then when you figure out what that thing is, it can be scary to take that step. So I feel like some of our message of the owl today is about that. It's about taking that step in the direction of even more unknown than we were already dealing with. We may have had a certain amount of unknown, but now we've got more unknown. And that's the right thing. It's the answer, but it's scary. Better to be scared by the challenges of life that you embrace than to be afraid of the challenges that might be lurking around the corner. So let's try and embrace our challenges so that we can come to that clever other way of thinking. And through this mindfulness prayer, let's also purify our obscurations. This is from the Dakini teachings by Guru Rinpoche. Whatever actions you engage in, do not do anything non-dharmic that fails to become the accumulation of merit and wisdom. Do not desire anything other than omniscient Buddhahood and benefiting sentient beings. Do not be attached to anything. Attachment itself is the root of bondage. Do not criticize other teachings and do not disparage people. All the teachings are ultimately indivisible, like the taste of salt. Do not criticize any of the higher or lower vehicles. They are identical in being the path to be journeyed, just like the steps on a staircase. You cannot know another person unless you can perceive with super knowledge, so do not criticize others. In general, all sentient beings are, by their very nature, spontaneously perfect Buddhas. They possess the essence of enlightenment. Do not examine other people's faults or delusions. Do not examine the limitations of others. Examine how you can change your own. Boom. Do not examine the shortcomings of others, but examine your own shortcomings. The greatest of evils is to hold religious prejudice and to criticize other people without knowing their mind. So give up prejudice as if it were poison. And now 108 recitations of Om Mani Padme Hum as we send out the compassion from our hearts to benefit all those who are suffering or who are obscured in some way from their own enlightenment. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 And let's give thanks for our blessed teachers. May all of my precious teachers enjoy long, happy, healthy, productive lives and great support for their good works. May all beings benefit from their wisdom. May they enjoy a swift and happy rebirth. And long life prayer for Lama Dechin Yeshe Wangmo. Om Sosti. Through the powerful blessings of the immortal Pema Jungye and his consort, may the three secret qualities of the Dakini of Supreme Bliss Yeshe Wangmo be utterly stable, and may the light of her activities shine on the lotus groves of the teachings and of beings, so that they blossom in radiant splendor. And let's dedicate the merit. May the merit of this practice and all of my activities be of endless benefit to all beings in all realms, beginningless and continuous. May all obstacles be overcome and suffering cease at the sound of liberation. May all beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all beings have happiness and its causes. May we carry the essence of Guanyin in our hearts. Namo Guanxin Pusa. And we close with a bow to Guanyin, bow to one another, and bow to the inner teacher. And if you chanted with me today, drop your count in the comments, 108, and I will be back tomorrow. Bye.